Lucy Maud Montgomery once wrote, "It's been my experience that you can nearly always enjoy things if you make up your mind firmly that you will." This is how I feel about mornings. While the rest of the world is slow to wake up, I'm carving out time to do all of the things I love the most. Writing has always been a huge passion of mine. As a teacher, I sometimes feel like the ultimate storyteller, but eventually I would like to take that passion and turn it into something more. I'd love to write a middle grade book someday, and I've always been working on it, but I've never made any significant progress. I love the idea of just waking up in the morning and writing down my thoughts, no matter what they might be. I find this sets me up for success for the day. I never write a to-do list. I never write anything for work, but I write down things that might bring me joy, things that I'm feeling, and things that I know are going to make today the best ever. Hello, my name is Mel and welcome back to my channel. I hope you enjoyed that sneak peek into my morning reading routine, which is one of my favorite ways to get lots and lots of books read. And speaking of books that I hope to read soon, let's talk about my March TBR. Now, March is widely known in the book community as middle grade March, so to acknowledge that and to celebrate that and my love of middle grade, I have two middle grade books that I'm hoping to read this coming month. The first one is actually a reread of one from my childhood. This is Emily of New Moon. If you are a fan of Anne of Green Gables, this is by the same author, so it's Lucy Maud Montgomery. This was a very popular TV series where I'm from. So I'm from Nova Scotia, which isn't too far from Prince Edward Island, the home of Lucy Maud Montgomery and all of her beautiful stories. So this is one that I grew up with really well. The story of Emily of New Moon is really interesting. She's a young girl who actually speaks and sees ghosts, and it's all about her life on Prince Edward Island, kind of communicating with ghosts and finding out their stories. And it's just such a beautiful story from what I remember, and I can't wait to read it again. I also think this might be one of the most beautiful covers I've ever seen. The next middle grade I'm hoping to get to this month is a book that was entirely a cover buy. This is a book called Freewater, and I bought it because of this beautiful cover art and illustration. I also, as soon as I read the synopsis, said that this is not only one that I'd like to read, but I think it's going to be a really important story. So this is about a young boy who, during the time of slavery, was trying to escape a plantation, but had to do so without his mother. And this story is all about him returning and trying to free her as well. I think this is going to be a challenging read, but I definitely think it's one that I want to pick up this month. Next up, I have a continuation in a series that I've been working through, and this isn't actually just a series. So I'm making my way to The Dark Tower, which for any Stephen King fans, you know that is a pretty big endeavor. And I'm not just going through the Dark Tower books themselves, I'm actually going through the expanded universe. So far I've read the first one in the Dark Tower series, The Gunslinger. I've also read The Drawing of the Three. Then I moved on to read Stephen King's The Stand in January, which I thought was phenomenal. And next up is The Wastelands Wastelands. Now, there are a couple other Stephen King books that people suggest that you read between The Stand and this one, but I'm going to jump right back into this because I can't wait to find out more about the story, and I'm excited to meet these characters again. So if you don't know about The Dark Tower, essentially The Dark Tower is Stephen King's magnum opus. It's his story that I would say he's probably most well known for. It's a mix of fantasy and western and sci-fi. It's really difficult to explain, but basically we're following two characters, one the man in black and one named Roland, who is the gunslinger, and a myriad of other characters as well come and join them, and it's just about their adventures basically in the most basic sense. Stephen King's worlds and stories are always so well crafted, and it's definitely hard to describe this one, but if you haven't picked up any of Stephen King's works, or in particular the Dark Tower series, I would highly recommend it. Another continuation of the series that I want to read is the fourth book in James S. A. Corey's The Expanse series. This is called Cibola Burn. Basically, The Expanse series is interplanetary conflict sci-fi space opera. It's really interesting. In this world, there are people living not only on Earth, but also on Mars and in a place called the Belt, which is the asteroid belt, essentially. And all of the planets, all of the people are at war. And this follows a few main characters throughout the series, and then we add new characters in each and every installment. And I think these books are just fantastic. They're immersive, they're fast-paced, they're entirely plot-driven. I think they're so well done. So I'm super excited to jump right into the fourth one. And if I finish this, I might actually jump right into the fifth one too. And I think those are all the books that I'm going to put on my March TBR. So I am a huge mood reader. Oftentimes I'll just go to my Kindle or the library or the bookstore and I'll pick up whatever I'm most interested in the moment, and that's usually what I read. So I'm not going to make too big of a TBR because I know I won't stick to it, but I do hope you've enjoyed taking a sneak peek into what I'll be reading and also taking a sneak peek into my morning routine. Thanks so much for being here. I always appreciate it. If you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe. And if you wouldn't mind sharing my videos with your book community, I'm super excited to be a part of this group, and I've met some wonderful people already, so I'm so excited to be a part of the community, and I feel so welcome. So thank you so much. All right, everyone, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.